Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sal. You are watching Fully Charged here on Team Fortress TV. And this other guy over here is cbear. He and I are going to be bringing you some TF2 news and action tonight. Later on, we will be joined by our guest, Cinq. He's going to be talking about TF2 mix and pugging in general. We've got a lot of questions, and we had a good pregame discussion here. So I think we'll have a good time. cbear, we should probably just dive straight into the weekly news, I think, unless you got any announcements you want to make.
I love Sal. That's my announcement. No, I don't really have any announcements, but I thought that it would be nice to catch people up on how Invite's going. I was actually going to load up the standings, but I didn't do that because it was awesome.
Yeah.
But we have an interesting development right off the bat that I thought people should know about. I don't know if I should even say it, but I'm going to.
Say it.
And that is, that is that Don't Trip, who's had an awful season. They've shaken up their lineup drastically. And they now, you're not going to believe this, Sal, when I tell you, but they have.
I'll believe it.
They have the real Waz is now playing Scout for them. So, right, that's the face I thought you would make. So what we have that's happened in some weird turn of events is Clockwork pretended to be Waz, made a new account that named it Waz, and then they used their last roster move to actually pick up the real Waz, just to like troll everybody even more.
I'm so trolled right now, bro.
But then they decided that as a team that they weren't doing well with Tyrone playing pocket and calling. So what they've done, I guess from what I've heard, it's like a mutual thing where they Tyrone and they talked about it and they're like, well, why don't you go to the bench, and then we'll move Hero to pocket, and then we're actually going to start Waz. So, as of right now, Sal, the Don't Trip starting scouts are Clockwork and Waz, after, Clockwork pretended to be Waz. So that's pretty...
Whereas it used to be Clockwork and
Hero, and then Clockwork and Blaze. Basically, they can't figure out why they're not good. And so they keep moving things around, which is the last thing that you probably should do because you're not getting used to anything. Yeah. And I don't think that they are going to make land. They have a game this week that we're actually not casting. No, we have the game against AG. It's Don't Trip versus AG. And that game, if Don't Trip doesn't win that game, they are in a lot of trouble.
They're in basically almost. They're in the same boat as Vector almost with their record, right?
No, they're 2-4. I want to say right now, which isn't terrible. Vector is out of it. At this point.
Certainly.
They are done. But we kind of knew that, which is fine.
Hey, they even knew that. They came on the show and they were just like,
right, they absolutely did. Do they have a? They got 3 rounds, so they don't have the like the worst ever season under their belt yet, which is that's good.
That is good.
There were teams I think that got no rounds, but where we stand right now, BP is 7-0, and I think they might be pretty good at TF2.
I'm being told I have a double voice thing going on. That it's apparently super echoey, but I don't think I have Team Fortress TV open. I hope that goes away. I just closed all my internet, so that's it. That's all I got. Hopefully that fixes it.
Internet gone.
It's dead. Yeah.
Good guys.
Well, clearly. So that's your big news.
It's pretty big. It's pretty funny, I think. I mean, I like Don't Trip, and if I indeed go to LAN, it's kind of sucks that now it looks like under any circumstances I will not be able to hang out with Tyrone, who's like a guy I've known forever, and one of the big reasons why I'd like to go to LAN to actually meet that guy. So he's not going to be on the team.
Yeah. Too bad. He's a cool guy to meet at LAN. I've seen him several times actually.
Oh, rub it in, man. All I want to do is meet Tyrone.
I like him. He's a cool guy.
Okay, so let me run down the standings while we're all sitting here, waited on bated breath. So BP is 7-0, and actually our guest Cinq, who's waiting to come back in, I believe he sponsors BP, helps give them a server and other stuff, so we can talk to him a little bit about that. His team might go undefeated, Sal. I think the next game between them and Mix-Up is going to decide whether or not they do, but I don't see any team but Mix-Up beating BP at this point unless he stops playing, but they play a lot anyway.
Or unless Fully Torqued somehow just skyrockets in potential, which...
I just don't... There's a ceiling there when it comes to BP, and I think... Well, just don't give me that look, all right? I know what I'm talking about here. Maybe I'm not gonna say it's not possible because they put up a good fight against them, 5-3 on Beauty Bush, but I don't see it. Anyway, so they Mix Up is second, 5-2. Fully Torqued is 4-2. They have a game tonight that we're casting. Them versus AG, which I like Fully Torqued to win that game. But doesn't mean you shouldn't miss out on the exciting Metalworks action.
AG's doing pretty well too this season, aren't they?
They are 2-4, so they are hanging out down in tied for sixth place.
Down in Don't Trip Land.
Yes, they are not tripping. Well, they are actually tripping a little bit. Actually, I think a team to look out for, Sal, is the Chess Club. I like them right now as the fourth team. They've got a really good team. And
now, I've been told, by the way, that there's another one of these roster switches that's going on. Is Omar is out for the Chess Club, so they're saying Kermit's going to go demo and Boomer's going scout.
Kermit is going to be demo right now. From what I can tell, they're going to actually try to pick up another demo who's more active. Boomer, who was their demo, is like a ridiculously good scout, and he and Weeble together are crushing. I watched them fully torqued in a couple scrims easily. Boomer is a beast. He actually played really well in a BP versus Chess Club yesterday. They got 5-0'd, but they won a whole lot of the fights. They couldn't win a round because it's hard to push against Banny. He's pretty good. But I really like that team. I think they could actually be even better than Fully Torqued and be a third best team.
Okay. With
that lineup. So we'll see who they get on demo. I have my eye out, my all-seeing eye. I don't know. Maybe they'll pick me up, Sal. You never know.
No.
They're not going to pick me up?
No. I wouldn't pick you up.
Right,
I mean, we're on the same CBO team, but I still wouldn't pick you up.
I don't know what's the deal with that. I logged into CBO, and we either have a bye or they kicked us out of the league for not playing the preseason. Because we're not up to play anybody this week.
Okay.
But whatever.
Sorry, CBO.
Our hero man Star, he is on the roster, so our team is officially famous. So.
Yep. We've got that YouTube and Twitch TV stardom now because we have Star.
And
he's going to be devastated because he switched rosters from the one he was backing up to be on ours after we asked him.
And we possibly might have gotten kicked out of CBO already. Pretty good.
So we're feeling good about that one, guys. Anything else we need to talk about in Invite that happened between last Wednesday and this Wednesday?
Oh, you told some guy to shut up.
I did. It was in that Zen City game. I made a whole big thread about it and got upfragged like oblivion on Team Fortress TV forums because I apologized for telling him to shut up on air. I felt really bad about it. I was in a bad mood that day, and I was like, even if it didn't come across as this way, it felt malicious at the time. So I wanted to apologize. And everyone was like, what are you doing, Sal?
And I told you, Sal, that you shouldn't have apologized, that you had the right to tell that kid to shut up. If anyone comes in while I'm casting the game and says anything, I'm going to shoot them out of the sky like a clay pigeon.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting message. People want to say that Giggly Guy is also on HG now. I don't know if he's starting, though.
Well, he played a pretty sick game. Was it yesterday or the day before? He was awesome on Ghoulie Wouch. He's pretty good on that one. So, no problem. No, Giggly Guy looks sick in his triumphant return to Invite.
Okay. Yeah, he was really good back in the day. I'm skeptical about it, but he's a great personality. He's very funny. He is a weirdo though, Sal. And I don't know if we're gonna get into it, but apparently, my great friend CB, they hate each other. So CB hates Giggly Guy, and they have this long history where they fight each other and all that crap. But I guess Giggly Guy was streaming and Googled CB's name and found out all this personal stuff about him and was reading it off on stream. That's what somebody told me. And I was like, damn, that's going 8 steps too far. He's
Six.
Because CB works as a car salesman in North Carolina now.
Huh.
He used to be a professional poker player, but now he does that.
Nice.
And Giggly Guy was reading the reviews that were left for CB. Reading this, I thought Name was a really kind salesman. He knew his stuff, and he made sure we had a good time. And I was like, what? So.
Okay.
When it comes to Googling people on the internet, friends, that's where you can draw a line and feel okay about it.
Hey, Google yourself. Do it today. Because frankly, if there's anything out there that you don't want people to know and you Google yourself and you find it, get rid of it. You can do that. But if you just leave it out there and you never know, then somebody's going to find that crap. It's probably going to be somebody who wants to hire you in the future, by the way. They're going to Google your name. They're going to check your Facebook and all that. They're going to be like, oh, yeah, this guy played Team Fortress 2. Well, actually, that's a plus. But regardless.
They're going to find your Twitter name, Sal, when you're going for your next job. They'll be like, wait, who is this guy? What is that picture of? Is that a lizard?
I'm getting that changed, actually, pretty soon here. I've got I tweeted one of the new designs that a guy sent to me. So it looks pretty cool. It's still a lizard, but instead of being like a weird yellow lizard, it's like a really, really well-drawn like a lizard silhouette thing in a TV. It's pretty good.
My idea would be to have a mop, like a mop head.
Yeah.
With like comical eyes and like, okay, well, I'm just. What does a lizard have to do with a fat mop?
Hey, no, the lizard is the salamander, right? So anyway, no, I've done pictures of a mop before as my profile picture back when I was in like AIM. You know, I was fat mop on AIM, and so I just had a mop, and it was actually a mop that I MS painted myself. I felt pretty good about it. I was like a little artist, and it was awful. So no, I'm not looking for a mop as my picture.
All right, whatever. So, well, that's. I think that's pretty much all I have as far as news and stuff. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. There's some drama that's gone down as far as like some of the teams and the casters. As usual, we get into fights with people for no reason because this game is fun, and I did not win any of those fights, Sal, because, yeah. Basically, we wanted to cast Fully Torqued versus whatever tomorrow.
Ooh, yeah.
They had a game. And they, Fully Torqued is protesting the ESCA ruling. ESCA ruled a couple weeks ago. This is for all games, not just TF2. All games, because they're doing this new streaming front thing every week on ESCA TV. There's a game. Ours is Thursday night.
Sure.
So we always wanted to get the best match on Thursday night. And the best match this week was, on paper, BP versus Fully Torqued, which is happening tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't want to do that because ESCA told them, or all of us, that if any team is late or doesn't make it on match time, they get fined a number, like 2.5% of their prize pool or something. And so they're protesting that, and they don't want to be on Thursday night anymore.
Because they just don't want to deal with being on time.
Yeah. Or because they're... Well, I think what was explained to me was they're protesting the ruling that ESCA has. They don't think that ESCA should be allowed to do that. Especially, what was explained to me is that ESCA has a history of getting coming down hard on teams that forfeit, win and lost each other, and now they're saying that you absolutely 100% can you should be able to do that if the other teams didn't show up and stuff. So it's kind of like a 180. The admins themselves, it was the Invite Illuminati meeting. If you saw that thread where we're like 100,000 people in Mumble,
you were in that one too.
I was in that one.
So you can relay this.
I told those guys just to show up on time and we'll be fine. And then they brought down the ruling, and Killing and Kalkin kind of screamed at some of the people, and they got up in some faces, man. It was pretty awesome. And then, people are mad about it. So they're not. Which sucks because when you have a third best team in the game right now, and they have a lot of possibilities to have really good matches that we would want to cast, and it sucks that we can't get them to do it on Thursday, but I have no power over this. I can just
I can understand where they're coming from. They don't want ESCA to ruin them with rules and regulations that hurt their gameplay or hurt their potential prize winnings or whatever. At the same time, if they did resolve to just make sure that if they were on Thursday and they were the match of the week, that they just showed up on time.
Yep. Or get a backup that you can count on to play.
It just wouldn't be a problem.
But I mean, like I said, it's what it is. Fully Torqued has become a team as a collective group that I cannot stand. Like, I really don't like that team, but individually I like all of them. Just as a unit, they've become pretty much everything that I think Invite should strive not to be, as far as like an inclusive. And their attitudes are bad now. It's just whatever. I have no time for it, Sal. So if they don't want
You've
to
been talking Lang again, haven't you?
No, Lang is not nearly as upset as I am. I'm very mad. So
okay.
I've lost sleep over it.
Okay, well, I think now's about time that we get a little less mad. We should get Sync in here. So I'm going to go ahead and click the button that brings in our guest for today. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. He is Sync. He is the admin and coder of TF2 Mix, which is a Pug group. Now, he actually coded the Pug NA server mod or whatever it was as well. I don't exactly know what to call that. IRC bot, maybe.
Look at the chat. Look at the chat.
I know
Sal.
they're all just like, yeah, this guy has a better beard than Sal. I know I have to defer because whenever Sync, like, here's the thing, you're gonna notice this dynamic tonight, ladies and gentlemen. You're gonna notice that when Sync talks, I shut up because he's got the right of way in terms of the beard. So
he looks like Wolverine.
Yeah, no doubt.
With a bigger beard.
So anyway, Sync, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, thanks. I don't. Life's been great, man. Plugin is TF2 Mix has been one of my projects, but I have other projects and work and life's good.
Sync is kind of like the father of the Pug system. Like,
Nope.
he was the dude behind Gather. Or not Gather. Did you have anything to do with Gather? Okay. Well, Gather, for all you who don't know the history of Pugs in this game, you load up IRC, and it was originally the Gather channel. That was the worst. That was the worst thing ever. And then it moved on to Pug.NA, which Sync coded the bot for. And he's continued to work on it. He actually has a couple new projects that he was telling us about earlier. But why don't you... I don't think we got this info out of you. How did you get started on the actual Pug coding? Like, how did you sat down and you're like, man, I'm gonna do this because this seems like a good idea.
The history come from, well, when I started, it's really originally from Brownie Master, who made a thread on Godfrag, and he was a main admin back then at TF2 Gather, and he was really upset about how things were going. The bot was getting DDoS because they weren't owning the bot or the code or anything. It was Europeans
that's right.
doing the work for them. The system was something made for CS, so it wasn't. It didn't have classes. It didn't have anything. And Brownie Master made a thread, and it was really upset about what was going on. But they had no control. They had like no plan. And I'm a programmer. I knew it wasn't really hard, and that's the wrong part. Like, that's where I got wrong. Because I just told myself it's gonna be easy. It's gonna be like 2-day works. Like, it's just like that simple thing that connects like 6 players. You're on RC. You connect that thing, and then you have a couple classes. Like, at first it was just like 6 players, 2 classes. Well, 1 classes. It was medic, and that's all. It was super simple. It was just to replace what they didn't own. But that got sore because when I wrote my thing, when the bot was crashing on TF2 Gather, I was putting mine in their channel and it was working fine. But they later came to me. It was Deception and another guy. I don't remember. But they wanted me to do what really they just wanted me to do the work. They felt like they didn't want to have the medic class, like, which I thought was a very clever.
Yeah, nobody wants to medic in these Pugs, Sal. Don't give me that face. Like,
yeah,
that's always the last thing that happens in a Pug.NA. It's like they all draw straws, and it's like, oh, I got the short straw.
Well, I have seen it happen occasionally where there's like a really big mismatch in the medics, and somebody like grabs the better medic first. You know, the invite medic who showed up to play. But other than that, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the medic. Usually, it's either Pugs, like, it's usually the medic or the demo, which will change how fast the game will go. Like, if you get a bad demo, games will probably go 0.05 very quick. If you get a bad medic, it will go as well, like 0.5. And if you get both, like bad medic and bad demo, it's gonna be terrible. But
I'm trying to remember if the Gather. I'm trying to think back. I played a lot of Gathers when I was more active in the game, and I don't think it was a captain system, right?
No, it wasn't.
It was just like you add up as a class, and then it kind of and then it shuffles everybody off into their different things, and then you are like on teams. So it was random as can be, right? Isn't that?
It was. I think Gather was a total clusterfuck.
It was awesome.
Because it was first in the server, get the class he wants. Usually people don't want to play medic. So you have like people no-show when they figure out they will be last. And there's always like people also missing like the part, like they add up and then they go away, or like they go take a beer and then they forget about what's going on and they don't come back. and there's always people missing. And when you try to get a sub and gather, when we used to try to get a sub and gather, it was like for medic, and nobody wanted to. So you would be sitting in the server for 20 minutes, and it was really bad. Like I think gather was like it was okay. Like it was the best system back then. Like there was no other.
It was the only one.
Yeah, it was the only one, but it was still the best one. But that was the only one. And I came up with my thing. Only classes was medic, and there was no captain back then. It was just simple, and then it took over gather pretty quickly. It took like a couple weeks, like 2-3 weeks, and gather died.
So then you came up with the new age Pug, which is Pug and A, which has become the main IRC hub for the community as far as people gathering and playing. A lot of they're very active at any given time during the day. You'll see 2 of those Pugs at a time. But
I've played a lot of them.
Sal, I did not know that Sal played Pug and A's.
How many? Like if you type stats.
Yeah, I want to know, Sal. Are you?
I change my name a lot on IRC, and I don't auth with it, so it wouldn't tell you.
Oh,
but,
he's alting.
Yeah, I'm a terrible person. No, I want to say I may have played like about 100 games on Pug and A over the last year or so, half a year, whatever it is. It's a fair amount.
Okay. I had a question for the man. Okay, so obviously, gather for you, Cinq. You have a vision that you want to see something else. A lot of people's main issues with the gather system is that it's oftentimes a popularity contest as to who gets picked. You'll see the top invite level players get shuffled off as the first couple picks, and then after that it's, does the captain know who this next person is? Because the last thing that you want to do if you're a captain is to pick some new player who you don't know, because they might be awful and then ruin your experience. So
that's why I kept getting picked in Pug and A too. Everybody knew who I was. So
I have no the absolute worst player. You would get picked.
I have no illusions about why I was picked. It was because I was consistent quality. They could just be like, yeah, okay, I guess I'll have that one. I'll get the Big Mac with cheese, I guess. Whatever.
So we're looking for. So you're looking for a way, because you told us that you got a lot of people that messaged you like, "Hey, I never get picked in Pug and A's. What the hell?"
That was
sucks.
before, though. You have to specify to the people who are watching this. That was like that's a conversation we had before the cast. But we said that.
So your new system. Why don't you talk a little bit about what it is and how it's going to be better for those new players who don't get picked in Pug and A's and want to actually pug but are tired of the rejection.
The way I built the system, it's very simple. It's you get picked every 2 games. If you don't get to play in the big game, you will have to play. Like you will 100% sure play, unless like you go AFK and you get kicked. But that's something I want to fix. Like there's always stuff I have to work on. There's like if you guys will see the list I want to work, like I want to get done, it's crazy. This is just for Pug and A. Sorry for TF2 mix, but AFKs. I want to fix how like you make sure you get to the game, but without like confirming you're gonna be in the game. But so if you are a new player and you add up in my system, you're gonna be 100% sure to play. Let's say, because the system is not super popular, but the system is designed to be very good if a lot of people use it. So at the moment, there's about 20 games per night that gets played. It's okay. I think it's still.
How many are not gathers? I'm so dumb. How many Pug and A's get played a night? Or is that like 20 games?
About the same, or sometimes less, because Pug and A is more. It's Pug and A has less, or is less towards quantity, but more quality. Right. But there's still a lot of people wanting to play in these. But
I remember I don't have IRC up all the time anymore. Sometimes when I do, I'll idle on that channel, even though I'll never play a Pug and A ever. But I'll see like this just big block of players that are waiting to play and just waiting for either a captain or a medic or something.
Yeah. I've seen 30 users added up sometimes. Like it's crazy. And
really?
There's no captains. Like nobody wants to be like, or nobody wants to be the medic, or nobody wants to be the captain. So people keep adding scout, demo, and soli, and they wait, and then it gets to a list of people wanting to play, but they don't. They just wait in RC, and it's funny.
Right. So I asked this when we were talking before we went live, and I asked you, so how does TF2 Mix become more popular then? You said that it works better the more people you have.
Yeah.
If
Well, you
you're
can put it on fully charged.
well,
Yeah, I think that will help a lot. I didn't promote. I barely promote it. Most of what I've done to promote the channel is I made a thread on teamfortress.tv, and that's about it. That's the most the promotion I've done so far, and I feel ready. That's the thing. With Pug and A, I was doing the same back then. Is when I made my system, I'm full of doubt. So when I made this system, I wasn't feeling that system was good enough to be promoted. But I think TF2 Mix at this time is really at the stage that it can go bigger. Like it's. I think it has the potential to grow even bigger than what like the. I don't think it's going to be as big as a number as Lobby, because right now the system is based off RC, and it's kind of hard to add up. Like I made another.
It's not as intuitive, right?
I'm trying to merge those two things together, like RC and internet,
like a web client,
web client. Yeah.
Right.
And my goal is to have an interface that wrap around like the ATF2thing.org, that wrap around a pub channel, and that will be for the new players as simple as clicking a button to add. Like they will be okay. How do I play this? And then they press a button on that page, and it's like TF2.
Okay, so let me ask, because I started asking this before, but then we started not talking about it or something. So if you're like, how do you control the quality of the pugs then? Because when you say lobby, people in chat are like, right? Because lobbies are notoriously low skill, which is not a bad thing. But like, if you're a higher level player, it's hard to want to do a lobby when you have other alternatives.
Well, and when you're here's the other thing, when you're like a newer player who's just getting into competitive, people tell you to stay away from lobbies because the attitude and the general culture of TF2 lobby is shitty.
Yes.
I've had fun in the past in lobbies.
I think they're fun, but
months though. I think it's been 5 months since I've played my last lobby. But there has been a period I was playing maybe 2 or 3 per day, and then it kind of fade out because I feel the guy or the system, the guy who makes the system, doesn't want to fix the issues that are I think will be pretty easy to fix. Like just making sure people have some sort of history that follow them. Like if they're dicks, you will see that they're dicks. And you will kick them. But right now there's no such way to know. So when a lobby leader starts them, you can't really know. And a better way to get subs, like I was getting annoyed. There's a lot of no shows in lobby, and it will be easy for a lobby because like you need like to reboard, and people still have like a lot of the players in this community don't have good computers, and that's really what's holding back. I think competitive like gaming TF2, because if you don't have the computer to like the top-notch computer to compete against the players, like all the other players, most like there may be some exception there, but they all have like these
120 hertz monitor,
120 hertz monitor, for quad-core i5. And then the mouse, like the mouse perfect, like they get the best mouse.
Yeah, you definitely need that to get to invite, right? And people talk about that all the time. But really, you don't need that to start off.
No. But if you want to move up, because if you look at Counter-Strike, why Counter-Strike got so big, I think it's because at one point everybody had a cheap computer and could run like Counter-Strike at the same level the other guy that was invite. So it was like people had CRT monitors, so you didn't have like to buy a special monitor to compete against the best guy. You had that monitor. Like people had CRTs, people had like decent enough CPUs to run always at the top. Like you will notice like the difference between 120 FPS and 200. So at one point, CS was a whole enough. CS 1.6 was a very old engine, and it was good enough for the people to like to run on like 80%, 90%. But I think the people I know that have the computer to run TF2 at 120 FPS and have 100, it might be like 10, 15%. But you look all the other people, when they go to compete, like in a game that you move so fast and you swipe your screen so fast, like the FPS means, and then the smoothness of the thing means a lot. Yeah. So I think, yeah.
I think that is becoming less and less of a problem because TF2 is an old ass game now, dude. It's like,
but they're adding hats, like they're adding so many hats that slow down. Like
it's true, the performance has gotten worse in the game. That's a common issue, but. Talking about the pug system, so is there a way you're the godfather of the pug in TF2? So how do you control quality in your new channel, the TF2 Mix-Up?
Let's say you get like instead of your normal 20 games a night, let's say because you're on fully charged or because you get like a whole bunch of lobby players coming in one night, you get 60 games in a night, and a lot of them are people who've just never played 6v6 before, or they're interested, they've played the lobby before. Like how are you gonna how does your system automatically control for the quality of the game?
My system is different than lobby because we record every games you play in these. We have I built a system that was when I built this, the whole idea of having it to be easy to manage was a main priority for me, and that has always been. So that's why we have dedicated server we run. We own the server. We like I put all the stuff I need on the servers. So we record every game, and we have demos uploaded on a web page every time you play these. That's one of the main factors that helps us to see who are disruptive to these games. And then we also have like stats, so it's really easy for me to come by and see in a snap that a guy played 20 minutes as a sniper in a 25-minute games. Like it's I just go to the stats and dude, like you just abused enough classing in a pub. So and these things make it easy for us to manage. And I think by having admins that look over the pugs make it easier. I don't say that all the pugs that are happening in TF2 Mix are perfect. That like there's always.
But you've got oversight, and lobby doesn't have that.
We have some sort of system in lobby.
Yeah, lobby is like the jungle of TF2.
It's the jungle.
Like... So what I'm thinking when I hear you talk about the differences between lobby and you and the NA pug NA guys, so maybe there is kind of how do I say this, like in games like Dota and League of Legends and MOBA games, they have ELO or some kind of player rating system. So, as you get better, your rating goes up, so you play better players. So you continually are matched up with evenly skilled, or, as evenly as you possibly can under those theories or whatever. I know they're flawed themselves, but, maybe Pug and A can be something that can continue to facilitate games for people that know each other, I guess. The bigger population of already established competitive players, and then the mix-up channel would be the great place for newer players to go play. And if you do get more consistent games per night, you'll probably see players that just want to play, even if maybe they could get picked in the NA playing in the mix-up game. So it seems like maybe that's kind of a way to put, because aside from an ELO factor, some way to rate players, how do you how can you make sure that players, you're not getting 3 invite players on one team versus 6 players who've played 5 hours.
You do have the one game that's going to be captained, right? There's always the one game out of whatever.
Yeah, I will explain that, and I want to improve some like how it's being done, because I think at the moment it's not perfect, but it's okay. It's something I thought that could be good, but needs to be improved. But how it works to get the game balance and how it works to get the good games and the games for everybody, it's first off, I've made a new command. Like, this is new. This is why I think the channel is ready to go bigger. It's the surf command, because I see the system as a wave system. Like, you get the 12 player game, and then you get a 24 player game, and then you get a 12 player game, and so it's kind of a wave system. Like, you get the 12 one that everybody plays, and then you get 24 one, which is the one for the pros and the one for the good ones. And then I've added a command that helps the player who have a special status to surf. And that's the cool part, is you just add and wait for the big wave. So you just
So
surf,
you wait until there's a captained game.
So it's kind of plug and A, but at the same time, you're in the same channel as the people who want to get in big wave, like these guys who want to serve the big wave, and they try,
so just to be clear,
they fail, but
to be clear to the stream here,
get in the
Actually, that's pretty cool. So
if I'm explaining this right here real quick, just so that everybody's clear, because I see a lot of people talking about surf as though we're talking about a server, and that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about
no, it's not surfing.
Yeah,
it's not,
right.
Like,
this is like because there is a system in TF2 Mix. Not every game has a captain, but some of them do. The surf command allows you to only put yourself in consideration for the games that have a captain, right?
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. So you're surfing the wave of players, and you're only coming up. You're only actually doing the surfing when the big wave comes up. That's what he's saying.
Well done, Sal.
And for the lower, for the smaller game, like the one with 12 players, I've made a scrambling thing, like, because in TF2 lobby, that's one part I really hated. It's one point that could be improved, and it's you choose your side. Like, you're two or three friends in Steam, and like, oh, let's go red, and you stomp it. You just 5-0, and it's fun.
Or you don't, then you feel really bad about yourself.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Wait.
Oh, did my internet like die, or what's happening?
I think it's crazy.
What the hell was that?
What? What? I didn't hear it, so it must have been me. What was it?
No, it was like the worst noise ever.
It was probably me.
It was like,
because I couldn't hear it, so it must have been from my end. So tell me what it was.
I can't explain it to you. It was like an explosion of awful. We're still live.
Yeah, no, we're live. It was probably just because I had my phone next to my sound equipment, frankly.
I hope nobody got a screenshot of my face during that, because I wanted to blow my head off with something. That was the worst, Sal. Good guy, Sal.
I've got to remember not to put my phone over there. I really should.
Sal's like got his cell phone, his iPhone, and it's like puts it over here, and it's just like.
Technical difficulties galore here on Team Fortress TV. We can't have a broadcast without technical difficulties here, I think.
That is correct. User error.
So, what was I saying though?
I don't remember. My that literally was like if my head was a toilet, that just flushed everything. Thoughts are gone. I'm a clean slate. But I do want to.
I remember. Okay, the scrambling.
Scrambling. Okay.
Yeah,
because we just scrambled our brains with that, right?
It was similar.
That's one main part I didn't like about lobby is you don't make sure. Well, the system don't make is not built to make sure the teams are fair. I've done something for the normal games. I want to tweak it. Like, I want to make it. You get two I don't know. I don't know what. I like the captains because they make personal game, which means that like the games, the captain will are more like people get their friends first, and then they get the people they like first, and then they move on the rest. So it makes the theme interesting. It gives a color to the thing. But at the same time, if the captain's better than the other one, it's stump the team. So I like the captain when they are both good. They make like two very good teams, and they both like have some chemistry. But after that, I think the captain system is flawed because there's a lot of games who are played who are not fair because of this. Because we are not always monitoring the system. We are not always making sure the captains. So it has to go, like it has to kind of roll. And I introduced because the captains game are bigger and they need like I give them the captains. But after that, I think they kind of have like to just go like because they have less people waiting for them to start. But at the same time, they need to be fair. So what I made is I made a scrambling thing. If people don't agree with teams, so they just reorganize them. It's really random. So it goes to two teams that are built and they are proposed to the players, and people can scramble them again if they don't like them, which make like which will happen should have like 2 fair teams, like and good pucks, but it's not perfect yet. I want to tweak, like maybe have, I don't know, like some sort of system where you get 2 guys who choose if, I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. That's why I haven't done anything yet. But I want to make sure the both type of games are fair. They are very good and they are like super tight, and that's something that can't happen in the lobby. Well, if you're lucky, you're gonna get a fair game. But most of the time, like people just try to stump them or.
Yeah, right. That's true. So
okay, so Sal,
cbear,
there's a couple things I wanted to make sure we got to before we ran out of time. But I want to. There's people in chat that are just so funny, and there are people that want to make the faces, right? So if you want to do a good guy Sal face, like that, you have to subscribe to the channel, and you do that. It'll support not fully charged, but like our whole Team Fortress TV casting thing. So do that. Why not? Hey, all money goes directly to buying Sal a phone that doesn't blow up our brains. But we have, cinq, you have gone to many of these lands that are called LAN ETS, right? And that's
yes.
Gotta talk about that.
This year is going to be my 3rd one.
Wow, okay, 3rd one. So you like these? They are fun. I always hear my friends who do go say that they love them very much, that they are really fun. So tell us about ETS briefly and anything that you want people to know about them. Maybe people who are in the area that aren't going that you might be able to convince. It's a very good time, yes?
Yeah, they're amazing because they are big. Like there's, I think, 920 subscribed this year. But they get huge. Like there's a lot of people there.
That's a lot.
So it's nice to be surrounded by this environment, and at the same time, it's a very good time to have to let it loose and have fun with the people you've played online and you've never met. But Montreal, like where the line is, makes it perfect because it's downtown Montreal. There's no joke. It's like it will be a land with 850% downtown New York. That will be crazy, but that thing is happening downtown Montreal, and that's great because you just finish, like if you want, like on Saturday, what we have done so far, we haven't really took these land very seriously most of the time. Well, or with the people we were surrounded, we were like going out on Saturday, taking food, taking drinks, and then like we were like, it's just a good weekend that you can spend with your friends.
You have a good
there.
time, and yeah. So this year, XTV's trying to help. I'm thinking fights, aren't I? But is ETS doing?
Wrong.
I am.
X-Time was there last time.
X-Time was
like
there.
Last year was there.
Yeah.
And one other thing we've done, we can't do that, but we. Like on Sunday, last LAN, what we sneak in some alcohol, and also like for Americans, what's great, dude, it was totally crazy. We were like just drinking and playing some video games all together, and
I just want to say, we here on Fully Charged don't condone the use of alcohol. We just encourage it.
It's a good time. But
we have DJC on all the time. Like, what are you talking about?
Michael Harkness, the guy, the medic from so many seasons ago, he came to this land and he was so drunk. I think he drank like 26 ounces of like Appleton Estate, or I don't remember, Disaronno.
It sounds like a Wednesday afternoon for Darn.
And but like we were
Euros, man.
Yeah, it was like more like an European land because I've gone to the Sacramento land and it was like super, like it was suburban.
Chill.
Nobody was drinking. People were kind of like 16, 17. ETS was more mature. We had people drinking. We had like it was people going out. But at the same time, for the Americans who can't or don't drink before, is that beer?
It is a diet squirt, but I put it's half squirt, half vodka.
But yeah, for the Americans who can't like have a party or can't let it loose before they're 21, that would be amazing. Like just to go there on the weekend, meet your friends. But it's too late. Like these fucking lands sold out in a week and a half. Like my team, I have a team with Sizer, Sister, Destro, KP, and
So nobody's gonna beat you, right?
we have like mostly invite team or legend team.
Are you medding for them?
Yeah, I'm med.
Is Giggly Guy going to the stand?
But we don't have a ticket for Squid, so we are screwed so bad. We are trying to like Squid told me he was going to get a ticket, but he didn't have the money. Like when the ticket got on sale, didn't have quite the money, and I didn't. I bought the ticket for a couple players on that team, but I didn't have like the money to have Squid. So I said, "Can you buy it?" He said, "Yes." Okay, go get it. And then he told me he will get it like by that day, but they got sold out by that day. So like and they got sold out like again like they go to like they go with on a wave of like 200 tickets. One night like it goes out like I forgot that one on Friday night and then we don't have a ticket for Squid.
Well, here's my idea then. Just wear a big jacket. No, just wear a big jacket. And like hide Squid in the jacket on your way in, just like, I got nothing in here. I'm just really fat. It'll work. Trust me.
And then what computer would you use, Sal?
You could sneak that in somebody else's jacket.
Okay.
Yeah, you can sneak it in.
Paul's got a big frame where you could stick computer parts and maybe a white boy somewhere in there.
I can't wait to meet Paul.
Have you never met Paul before? I thought he was like a regular at these lands. Him and Destro. No?
Destro and Destro.
Well, that's a long flight for him. Remember, he's in Vancouver. Montreal's like on the other end of the country.
He's in Toronto.
Oh,
Toronto.
I thought he was Vancouver.
It's like 5-6 hours. It's still far, but you can make it. But Destro has gone to all these lands since 4 years now, I think, 4 or 5 years. But Destro is one of the coolest guys in TF2. He's hosting at his house like maybe 10, 15 players every time, and he's just a very cool guy all around. So being there, and there's also like the guy Zach Killer, Blind Talent. These guys are from Montreal too. They're always I don't think I don't know if this year they are gonna be there, but it's always a good time to go to these. Like the competition has always been pretty good.
People are saying in chat like, "Oh man, I wish I could go next year, but I don't want to pay the money." If you guys are in like the general area, organize carpools. Sal will drive you there in his van. No, you won't. But there's a good way to get there.
I'm not gonna be there.
X-Time, when he was on here a couple episodes ago, like 6 or 7 episodes ago, one of his main points was that lands are important to growing the game, and I tend to maybe not agree fully, but I think that absolutely helps. So, if you see a land like this and you've never been to one, like, I've never been to a TF2 land before. I've never been to a land before, Sal. Ever. So hopefully I get to go to the...
You're going to go to the...
ESCA land. Yep. They're talking about it. Ooh, I don't want to say whether or not... I mean, if they give me a ticket, I'll go, but...
As far as lands go, ESCA land isn't even, like, a big community thing.
Right, it's like you all gather in, like, a hotel lobby. Like, I want to go. I think, you know what? If I go to Chicago, it's not that far of a drive. Ooh, I'll fly. Ooh, it's so much money though. But I want to go, and I want to share a Zima with Sizer.
A Zima.
What's a Zima?
That's a girl alcoholic drink.
It is.
From like 100 years ago.
Next March, there's gonna be another ETS.
Is there?
You're still around, like playing TF2 and.
Fragging noobs.
No, I mean, if you're still playing TF2 and still caring about the game, like,
oh yeah,
it's still gonna be like it's every March of the year.
Maybe I'll go and cast it just by myself, just sitting there at like a make-believe computer, just like.
Dude, by then we'll have a full-fledged. We'll be like the vanilla TV of the West. You know, we'll have the whole casting booth thing, like at I-46. It'd be sick.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
I like how the NA scene is growing, and that's mainly due to one man, which is Enigma, which has been doing an amazing job. Like, I met him in Norcal. It's been great to meet him, and he's a very smart guy. Who has a lot of talent, and it's a blessing for the community for him to work on TF2. It's great to have him work on teamfortress.tv.
Yep. I don't think he gets enough credit. I know we need to go pretty soon.
Yeah, we do. But we got to talk up Uncle Enigma and put him on the pedestal.
Yeah, because well, I mean, Carl, we call him Carl. Like, everything that does Team Fortress TV is not just like because of him, but he does like continually work. Like, he helps even us cast. Like, he'll set all that crap up for us.
Yeah.
And if this all started like 4 years ago, Team Fortress TV, and we started really going at it as hard as we could as far as casting and having a central hub to the game that wasn't like crappy Gotfrag or crappy whatever that NA site was, we would be way better off right now. So it's exciting that we're having this like push behind Team Fortress TV, and it's like 99% Enigma and 1% me. So.
So you are saying that you're the 1% that everybody was protesting against all those months ago? Okay. Anyway, cbear, we do have to go, so I got to thank cinq. I'm going to say it like a French Canadian.
Merci beaucoup.
Very good.
So yeah, cinq, thank you very much for showing up to Fully Charged and giving us the spiel, the rundown on TF2 Mix, and hopefully it does get that little HTML wrapper in the future so we can see.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
It's gonna be done like in a couple of months, but eventually it's something I want to finish. Yeah.
Well, okay. Any last shout outs from you before we sign out here?
Yeah, I do. I have Villain, Papa Smurf, KP, Dan, aka Destro, Squid the Kid, Danny, LP Kane, and Trouble. We didn't speak much about these guys, but they really help a lot. TF2 with ESCA. Lang is the man.
He is the man. I agree.
He's the man. He's done a lot. Brownie Master, all the invite crowd, like the invite tuggers, they can mate, Scissor, Signbud, Youth, cbear. The guy we were hosting the shows. I want to thank you guys for getting me in.
Oh, for sure,
Sal,
man.
cbear again. All the players who played in my channel and they didn't bother me. Like they were smooth. Like they were. I appreciate that. Like the people were nice to me. Enigma, French Canadian players who played with me 2 seasons. It was fun. That's about it, I think.
Did you prepare that list beforehand?
He's reading the list, I think.
Yeah, I prepared it, but hopefully I didn't forget anybody. I didn't hurt, but anybody like was chill, and I like pretty much everybody in there. But yeah.
Okay, thank you very much once again, cinq. This has been Sal and cbear on Fully Charged, and your sound is back now, cbear. It's good.
Oh, did it die? Sorry, guys. We have hats next. I don't think we've said that. I'm going to give away stuff now.
Yeah, we're going to give away stuff just after the break here. So, ladies and gents, do stay tuned. We are going to give away hats, but of course, if you are watching the VOD or listening to this somewhere else other than the VOD, who knows, you don't get a hat. So you got to watch live every Wednesday at 7 Central, Fully Charged with Sal and cbear and various guests. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.